before we do public comment, we've got a couple announcements. First, beginning with Council District 1, Councilmember Hernandez has an announcement.
Thank you, Council President. And this is the announcement you said?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Colleagues, today marks the 13th Annual Engineers Week, and it's my pleasure to host Elementary School Day at City Hall. Engineers Week here at City Hall as well. We have a lot of students here. This is my second year hosting this event as chair of the Public Works Committee, and I'm proud to share that we've increased our capacity to bring more of our future leaders here. Today, we have over 100 young minds taking over City Hall, from Highland Park, Monte Vista Elementary, from Pico Union, Leo Poletti Elementary, and Magnolia Avenue Elementary, and from Council District 12, we have Chatsworth Elementary. The American Society of Civil Engineers launched this week because it believes every student in LA should see themselves as a future of STEM. Everybody stand up and wave because you'll be on YouTube. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to bring attention to the fact that today marks the start of the Lunar New Year. It is the year we welcome the year of the fire horse. Lunar New Year is celebrated by millions of people around the world, and it is a time that marks renewal, reflection, and new beginnings.
I'll be calling the next few names: Alejandro Campillo, Andrew G., Chen K., and Cindy W.
Okay, can we let the next speaker go? Mr. Herman, if you would like to use the wireless handheld microphone because you have a standing accommodation request, this is the last time I'm going to ask you, and then I'm going to issue warnings. So we're not going to play games and guess whether you want to come to the podium or whether you want us to honor your accommodation request. So like everybody else who files one, please wait and raise your hand so the sergeants can provide you with the wireless handheld microphone. Go ahead, you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general.
Número 3, Gerardo Il Juju Blufi. You promise casas of 97 unit multi for $30 million. I find that a lie, Bob. Look at you. You know what I mean? Listen. The cost of the acquisition, construction, improvement, and equipment for this North Main Street bullshit on 3016 North Main Street in Council District 14, where Gerardo, the liar, promises housing for all us people. Mr. Grote, I want to put on record my constitutional right and belief on item 3, please.
There's nothing to do with item number 3. Stick to the items or I'm going to move you to general.
Now, so into item public safety. Year of the horse budget. Yeah. The collaborative crisis response.
Which item are you speaking to?
I'm talking about the response for public safety. There's a bunch of them. 22-0057, dumbass. It's item 58, moron. Yeah, shake your head. This is in regard to the chief of police that we know under the terms and conditions that the collaborative crisis response and training is inadequate, right? You always arrest black people, Mr. Chief of Police, always. Then comes the poor Latinos, or as you call them, Grote, wetbacks. Then, in my last few seconds on another item so I don't run on like a dickhead, Mayor's Office of Public Safety to expand the grant and submit a grantor on behalf of city requests and city's funds. Can you believe that shit, smoke and scan? This is a smoke and scan scam, right? Smoke and scan? Thank you. So, to establish this, the local cyber criminals of Los Angeles have used Proton as their weaponization when it comes to dealing with the
So
public.
you've been, I don't know what you're speaking to, which
Now
is why
into
we
my
need you to, general public comment, you have 1
please,
minute.
You fucking asshole. Eric Previn, petitioner versus the city of Los Angeles, filed in the Court of Appeal February 22nd, 2019, Superior Court number BS 166039. You, Mr. Attorney, and all your attorneys have violated the Brown Act. You continue to violate the Brown Act because, like a dumb son of a bitch, you rather have us not participate in regular versus special meetings because you claim that the specials go behind closed doors while you have a dickhead or two attorneys that sit back there participating. And then when you allow the public to participate either before or after, you count us out. So that makes you a jackass, Mr. Attorney Grote. And I'm glad David O'Carter is going to bring that out in the Obama Federal Court tomorrow, Wednesday, on Division 1, first floor.
And your time has expired. And just to clarify sort of what Mr. Herman is saying, I believe he's referring to the Eric Previn case. I couldn't understand exactly what he's saying, but obviously if you would like to provide public comment when there is a special meeting, we do open up public comment for special meetings, although there is not one today. Thank you. Good morning, Speaker. What would you like to speak to?
General comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Gillespie, and I work at Starbucks here in Los Angeles. I'm here to talk about the need to pass the Fast Food Fair Work Ordinance, specifically the implementation of Know Your Rights training for all new hires. Corporations like Starbucks rely on workers like me not knowing the rights the state of California affords me and exploits that lack of knowledge in order to drive profits at the expense of our well-being, the likes of which have led to hundreds of unfair labor practices court recognized, which we are currently striking against. It's no secret that they target underserved, undereducated, and impoverished communities to make their money for them, knowing there is a critical lack of information available to those communities which they reap the benefits from. Multi-billion-dollar corporations like Starbucks should not have to rely on workers not knowing their rights in order to make their money, and if they do, they clearly have bigger problems to address. This is why it is imperative that the Fast Food Fair Work Ordinance passes, which will ensure that all fast food workers in this city are fully aware of their rights and are then able to recognize when those rights are being denied or abused.
Before the next speaker begins, I'll be calling the next few names. Daniel Sosa, Delvin H., Dennis O., Ernest Martinez, and Hallie Muro.
Good morning. What would you like to speak to?
General public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Ale Campillo. I'm with SAGE. I'm a resident of CD1, and I'm born and raised in CD3. And it's with great honor that we got to work with these two offices to push forward something that's going to actually push the city to be more flexible in its ways of supporting tenants. I talk to tenants every day. I've door knocked over 10,000 doors in the last year. And the reoccurring story I keep hearing is that tenants are not allowed to install ACs when their landlords are trying to use that as a form of harassment to try to suppress their voice. And this piece of legislation allows for tenants to be empowered while also keeping it flexible so that the grid is not impacted. This is a question of people's lives. This is a question of people's health. This is a question of it affecting so many other things that affect our health, like mold and other issues that affect housing and health. And so at the end of the day, this piece of legislation will be very important to move forward. And so I hope that you vote yes on item 12. Thank you.
Mr. Herman, this is your first and only formal warning. Do not disrupt this meeting. I can see that he has now exited the room, thankfully. Good morning, Speaker. What would you like to speak to?
Hi, I would like to speak to general public comment, please.
Okay, you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Council, my name is Daniel Sosa. I operate 4 licensed cannabis dispensaries in the city. Without immediate action to adjust the city's cannabis policies, particularly those related to taxation and illegal enforcement, the licensed cannabis market will collapse. The licensed cannabis market will collapse. Once again, Council, these are not my words. These are words directly from the urgent Cannabis Commission policy recommendations to you back in July. Our industry needs tax reform yesterday. You, City Council, have the explicit authority to lower the cannabis taxes under Measure M. A 10% tax rate is perpetuating the harms of cannabis prohibition. A 10% tax rate is 100 times the tax rate the city collects from big box retail corporations, from alcohol sales, from tobacco sales, from gun sales. Please act to save our industry. We need tax reform, and we need it
Speaker,
now.
your time has expired. Next speaker.
Good morning. My name is Dennis, and I'm here to give a public comment. I work at Starbucks here in Los Angeles. I'm here to talk about the need to pass the Fast Food Fair Work Ordinance. Stable scheduling is essential for fast food workers. Working at Starbucks showed me that I need stable scheduling because closing my store and then having to open 5 hours later does not give me time to rest and prepare for the next day. Not complying would result in being scheduled less hours the next week and after. Again, this is why stable scheduling is essential. Employers like Starbucks shouldn't have to rely on us not knowing what the future looks like. We urge you members of the committee to support and ensure that the Fast Food Fair Work Ordinance is passed without delay. Thank you.
Good morning. This is a public comment, a general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
It
Go
was
ahead.
in regards to the human trafficking that was going on in the Miss Jarado's district, Boyle Heights, on Cesar Chavez and Mission Road, with all this Epstein list stuff coming out. What I can tell you is that it's going to be Judgment Day. Fear God, not these Jews.
Before the next speaker begins, I'll be calling the next few names. John P. Dole, Juanita Chavez, Julie C., and Cash P.
Good morning. What would you like to speak to? Oh, can we try it again?
General public comment.
Okay, perfect. We can hear you now. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Haley Murrow. I work here at Starbucks in Los Angeles, specifically District 5. I'm here to talk about the need to pass the Fast Food Fair Work Ordinance. Know Your Rights training is essential for fast food workers like me because it helped me when I was trying to organize a union at my store. My coworkers and I didn't know our rights, and Starbucks took that as an opportunity to aggressively union bust our store and made us fearful of losing our jobs. Thankfully, we had union organizers to train us on our rights, and we used them to continue organizing and win our election. Every fast food worker should have the right to be educated and empowered. Now we know firsthand, employers don't want us to know our rights. This is why we need to make sure that all fast food workers get the training that we need to defend ourselves and stand up for ourselves. Employers like Starbucks shouldn't have to rely on us not knowing our rights to do their business. We urge you, members of the committee, to ensure and support the Fast Food Fair Work Ordinance is passed without any delay. Thank you.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Delvin Enríquez. Soy miembro de SAGE.
Good morning, my name is Delvin Enriquez. I'm a member of SAGE.
Vivo en la ciudad de Los Ángeles.
I live in LA.
Solicitamos por favor que lo que se firmó para el condado acerca del calor extremo también sea para la ciudad de Los Ángeles.
We ask, please, what was signed off by the council in regards to extreme heat to please be applied to Los Angeles.
Ya que mi amiga la encontraron muerta en su cuarto y cuando le hicieron la autopsia,
Because my friend was found dead in her room, and when they did the autopsy,
encontraron que había sido del calor extremo, le había dado un ataque.
because she had an attack from a heat stroke from extreme heat.
Debido a la estructura del apartamento y demasiado calor.
Because of the structure of the apartment, there was too much heat getting in.
Voten sí para el punto 12. De ustedes dependen nuestras vidas.
Vote yes on number 12 because our lives depend on you guys
Aquí en la ciudad de Los Ángeles. Muchas gracias.
here in the city of Los Angeles. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Good morning. My name is Jai Harris, and I am here to give a public comment. I work at Starbucks here in Los Angeles. I'm here to talk about the need to pass the Fast Food Work Ordinance. Stable scheduling is essential for fast food workers. Working at Krispy Kreme showed me I needed stable scheduling because I was able to have a fair work-life balance. I was able to show up for my employees when they needed me the most, and also to improve employees' well-being. Again, this is why stable scheduling is essential. Employees like Krispy Kreme shouldn't have to rely on us not knowing what the future looks like. We urge the members of the committee to support and ensure the fast food fair work ordinance is passed without any delay. Thank you.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Mireya, soy miembro de SAGE,
Good morning. My name is Mireya. I am a member of SAGE.
vivo en el sur centro de Los Ángeles, Distrito 9.
I live in South Central Los Angeles, District 9.
Sabemos que el calor extremo afecta principalmente a niños y ancianos.
We know that extreme heat affects primarily kids and elderly
Y personas de bajos ingresos debido a la falta de aires acondicionados.
and low-income people due to their lack of ability to have air conditioning.
Particularmente y por cuestión de salud me afecta órganos vitales e intestinales.
Because of health issues that I have, my vital and internal organs are affected, and intestines.
Por esta y por otras muchas razones y a otras personas que no pueden estar aquí,
And for this reason and many other reasons, a lot of other people who cannot be here,
les solicito de la manera más atenta, tengan consideración
I ask for you in the most sincere way to please take into consideration
en firmar hoy mismo para todo el pueblo de Los Ángeles la ordenanza que fue firmada para el condado. Muchas gracias.
to sign off today for the people of Los Angeles, the ordinance that was signed off and approved by the county. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I was looking for your help on something, okay? And it has to do with the Clean Air Act, but also the American Cancer Society, Lung Association, residentially challenged, and a standard of care. And I know I only have 1 minute, and I'm running close. I feel there's a gap somewhere regarding cancer that I've diagnosed with, because everybody I go to, they all say, I don't know. Oh, what is with this? I don't know. I need to know my steps. And you know what, this needs to be tabled in a bigger discussion because it's very important. And I don't know how to do that. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. If you could just wait over there on the right-hand side of the council chambers, please, for a couple minutes. Feel free to take a seat, too, if you'd like.
Okay, my name is Michael Diggin. I am an employee of Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, a civil servant for the City of Los Angeles, and a shop steward for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 18, who serve the City of Los Angeles. Los Angeles means a great amount to me, and I make the electricity that keeps these lights on. And I'm here, once again, to demand that you do every single thing you can possible to rein in the completely lawless LAPD. I was just at a press conference yesterday where Sacha Renee Perez was sponsoring SB 1105 to try to do something to keep these LAPD agents from supporting ICE and constantly racially profiling our own citizens like they are not supposed to do by their own internal policies when they go out and assist ICE in these roundups and these abductions and kidnappings of American citizens off the streets of Los Angeles. This has to stop.
Speaker, your time has expired. Next speaker.
My name is Patricia Barrett.
Go ahead. You have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general.
I am from CD 14. Isabel Girardo is not here. I'm disappointed in that. She should be sitting here. And this is where the city is playing defense of Brown Act 70. The city was recently caught talking illegal secret votes on homelessness. Instead of apologizing, they are trying to get the state to change the law, SB 239, so that they can keep the meeting on video secretly. Smart point, they're trying to legalize their own bad behavior. Item number 46, they are trying to clear camps and fire zones without the usual 24-hour notice. Smart notice. The city is using public safety as a buzzword to bypass the court rulings that say they can't just throw away people's belongings without warning. The lawyer fees, they are funneling millions, now $7.5 million, to the law firm Gibson Dunn for the lawsuit against Mayor Bass. Smart point, we're spending enough to elite lawyers to house hundreds of people just so the city can fight a judge who's asking for honest data. Tomorrow they're going to be talking about the Brown Act. Just let you know that the mayor of LA, Mayor Bass, is being sued for the fire, the homelessness, and the Brown Act on another point. They have to stop here the council people from funneling more fees to them. The other thing is, in Isabel Gerardo's place, there are more women on Skid Row in the last 3 months.
Can we pause our time really quick? So, Speaker, this sounds like it's more moving to general public comment. Would you like to move it?
General
Okay.
comment,
You have 1
yes.
minute. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The other point is Isabel Gerardo, all she does is care about public parts in which she can do. She does not do anything for public safety. Homelessness, there's more women out there on the streets than ever before. I do work with LAPD once a week, volunteer work. Over the last 2 months, we have had to clothe 3 women without clothes and nowhere to put them because there's nowhere to put them at night. That's number one. Men are coming out there to rape women at night, and in CD14, whether you like it or not, there are 70 to 120 kids being housed on Skid Row. I don't want to say where they're at, and that's a fact because I have worked with them. This is an embarrassment for a public figure, and Isabel Gerardo does not care about diversity, inclusion, or equity. We need more of that. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Good morning, members of the City Council. My name is Juanita Chavez. I'm the director of the Angeles chapter of the Sierra Club and a resident of District 10. On behalf of our tens of thousands of members in Los Angeles and Orange County, I urge you to support agenda item number 12, the resolution regarding the proposed maximum indoor temperature requirements. As the climate crisis worsens, life-threatening extreme heat will only become more common and will disproportionately impact renters and others without the option or means to install mechanical cooling. Adequate cooling should be a habitability requirement in all homes, just like heating is. This is not just a matter of comfort, this is a matter of health and safety and climate resilience. This policy also provides an opportunity to support emissions reductions.
Speaker, your time's expired, so we have to give everybody the same amount of time. If you'd like to provide additional public comment, you can do so in writing at lacouncilcomment.com. Again, that's lacouncilcomment.com, but we do need to move on to the other speakers at this time. Thank you. I can't make any exceptions, I'm sorry. Good morning. What would you like to speak to?
Item 1, all items, and you said item 2 is non-existent today.
So item
right?
2 has been continued, so the items that are open for public comment are items 1 and 3, and items 13 through 71. So you have 3
Okay,
minutes
all
for those
items.
items and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
All items in general public comment, okay. Item 1, in my opinion, should receive a no vote if Sleazy Dawson, Curran Price indicted so many times, and Poverty Pimp Hut are allowed to vote. Item number 13 through 27 are items to remove properties from REAP. All funds collected from these REAP accounts should be used to investigate why Dawson, indicted Curran Price, and Poverty Pimp Hut are personally profiting from using their developers to kick back REAP abatement funds to themselves. Item 30 by Bob Genocide Bloomfield and Dimwit Rahman have come up with the ultimate in reducing the 80,000 homeless population. This motion is to provide $25,000 in security services at a park. Genocide Bob and Rahman can't come up with anything better than wasting public funds, so I demand that 99% of this $25,000 in this item be used to fund special election laws that remove each and every one of these incompetent clowns from office if they do not reduce homelessness in each of their areas by 25% per year. In my opinion, Sleazy Dawson, Embezzling Kern Price, and Poverty Pimp Hupp should not be allowed to vote on this item. Item 31, by finally indicted racist Asian John Lee, is another example of how they are tackling the homeless epidemic. Item 31, by item racist Asian John LAPD Lee, is tackling the 80,000 homeless epidemic with $15,000 for brush clearance. Great going, indicted racist Asian John Lee. General public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
Public listening to Dawson and Hutt talk about Black history made me want to vomit. These corrupt, poverty-pimping clowns are actually put in place to suppress us. Sleazy Marquise Dawson evicted the Afiba Center, the Black community's 20-year-old community and cultural center, and turned it into a COVID testing site with votes of Dimwit Nithya Raman, Bob Gaza Genocide Bloomfield. I heard a very bad joke last week. The joke said that Dimwit Nithya Raman was running for mayor. On second thought, that is more of a nightmare. Dimwit Nithya Raman as mayor is almost as disastrous as burning down the city while Karen Bass was at a party, or criminally insane Marquise Dawson. Black history is world history, not these clowns' shows of entertainment put on by corrupt career Uncle Toms.
My name is Dessa Vasiska. I grew up in this town. I've been here almost 50 years, and it is the town that I love. However, for nearly a year, you have allowed the federal government to run rampant in this town. I have just a short list of the abuses, but as far as I can see, Mayor Bass, Chief McDonald, and this city council have drawn no clear enforceable line protecting Angelenos. Instead, you have offered controlled town halls, press statements, and optics while families live in fear. Under your watch, students participating in walkouts have been tear gassed and shot with less lethals. Residents demanding transparency have been shot, beaten, and arrested by federal agents with no accountability. Mr. Keith Porter was shot and killed by an ICE officer in Northridge. And again, a citizen journalist was shot in front of a high school this summer during an ICE operation.
Next speaker. Good morning. What would you like to speak to?
Good morning, Council. I would like to speak about this issue, and I'm a constituent in Council District 10, and I have been trying to get
So 1 minute for general?
Okay, general. It's a general comment. I have been trying to get hold of Miss Heather Hutt for some time. There's no response. So I've had to get a hold of half of Los Angeles at this point. Now I receive a letter from HACLA stating, which does not make sense, EHV vouchers are given out by homeless service providers and only have a life of about 6 months with an extension 1 year when you're looking for an apartment. This is stating that there might not be any funding for only 2,700 to 2,800 people that are on this program, which is not a program, it's a voucher. I'm on Section 8, unfortunately, and I really wish I wouldn't be, and the day I can rip up my Section 8 contract is the day I'll be very happy, but besides the fact is at the moment, it's necessary to establish a very, a safety net, let's say. Let's say that's about it. But I would like to get a hold of Mrs. Hutt's office. I've gotten some information with her policy person, so I will email them. It's very hard to get a hold of her office, by the way. I have no idea why.
Understood. So your time has expired. We have to move on to the next speaker.
I'm Gisela Friedman, and I'm testifying on behalf of my daughter, Isabel Friedman, who's an environmental health advocate for the Natural Resources Defense Council, NRDC. NRDC is in strong support of the original motion to establish a maximum indoor temperature for rental housing, and is in opposition of the amendment that would require a comprehensive grid analysis. Extreme heat is the deadliest climate-related disaster, killing more Americans than all the other natural disasters combined. In Los Angeles, the average extreme heat day can lead to upwards of 1,500 excess heat-related emergency room visits, mostly in low-income areas where residents are more likely to be renters. Numerous analyses demonstrate that the greatest risk factor in heat-related fatalities is the lack of access to air conditioning. At-home cooling is a necessary part of a comprehensive extreme heat strategy. It has been shown that increased load on the grid from air conditioning units would be minimal, and DWP has already modeled a lot of scenarios.
Speaker, your time has expired. Next speaker. Thank you.
Good morning, council members. My name is Grace Hutt. I'm with Strategic Actions for a Just Economy and here in strong support of the maximum indoor temperature ordinance. Every year that the city waits to address the issue of extreme indoor heat is another year of heat-related illness, more trips to the emergency room, more preventable deaths. This is why our coalition of public, health, climate, and housing groups is also concerned by the directive to LADWP to conduct a thorough grid analysis, which could delay this effort greatly. It's not an option to say we aren't going to protect the lives of tenants because it's too taxing on the electrical grid. Additionally, LADWP has already planned for low growth scenarios through LA 100 planning. This is thanks to the City Council, which asked for and approved this planning effort years ago. So let's continue to make progress on electrification and climate resilience rather than moving backwards and asking for duplicative reports. Please vote yes on agenda item 12 and put a time limit on these report backs so we can deliver people with life-saving cooling. Thank you.
Intercity Law Center represents low-income tenants for free throughout Los Angeles County. Our office supports item 12, the Safe Indoor Temperature Ordinance without amendments. As temperature rises throughout the globe, the threat of extreme heat to our community gets worse with each passing year. Extreme heat threatens the most vulnerable in our society who cannot properly regulate their temperature, seniors and children, causing heat stroke, brain damage, and worsening pre-existing heart conditions. The results are deadly. As a legal aid attorney, I have used habitability laws to ensure negligent landlords provided their tenants adequate heating, proper locks, plumbing, and safe electrical wiring. However, under current law, if a tenant asked me for help because they suffered from extreme heat in their home, I would not have the ability to keep them safe. That is unacceptable. Adequate cooling should be a habitability requirement in all homes, just like heating is. Please vote yes on agenda item 12. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Karen Romero Estrada. I'm here on behalf of Physicians for Social Responsibility Los Angeles. I affirm our support for the maximum indoor temperature ordinance. Our goal is to make LA healthier and more resilient, so we must support policies that promote whole home habitability. We cannot risk another summer of extreme heat without relief in our homes. Extreme heat is life-threatening and summer is right around the corner. We urge the council to encourage all report backs to move as quickly as possible to ensure people are protected by or before the summer. Adequate cooling should be a requirement in all homes, just like heating is. Please vote yes on item number 12. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Catherine Baltazar, and I'm the Associate Director of Advocacy and Organizing at Climate Resolve, a Los Angeles-based nonprofit working to protect communities from extreme heat. I'm here to support the LA City's adoption of the LA County Safe Indoor Heat Temperature Policy. Extreme heat is the deadliest climate-related health hazard that we face. Every year, more Angelenos are exposed to dangerous indoor temperatures during heat waves, and for tenants without adequate cooling, homes can be a health risk. It's important that we recognize that the amendments that are being added today will direct stakeholder engagement and expand energy efficiency programs, which are great, but we want to make sure that we remain concerned about the open-ended grid analysis that could delay urgently needed protections. We already have modeled future load growth and cooling demands through various long-term planning and studies, and additional review should inform implementation, not postpone adoption. LA County has already acted. It's time for the city to do the same. Thank you.
I'm Chelsea Kirk. I'm a policy director at SAGE. I'm urging you all to support agenda item 12 to establish an indoor air temperature threshold for rentals in LA. What the science has shown us is that our summers are getting hotter and they're lasting longer, and the only effective intervention to protect people from the numerous health risks associated with extreme heat is air conditioning. Right now, tenants have no reprieve from the heat. Many of our members have shared that not only can they not afford to cool their homes, but their landlords prohibit them from doing so. So without policy intervention, I do fear what will happen when the temperature exceeds 100 degrees and renters have to endure it without adequate cooling. And I imagine what will happen is that people will die, especially the young and especially the elderly. Action must be taken to prevent this outcome. Please support agenda item 12. No more delays, no more report backs. Summer is only 4 months away, and it's going to bring record-breaking temperatures as it always does. Thank you.
But I just want to urge your support for the motion that I co-introduced with Councilmember Blumenfield. Colleagues, extreme heat, as it has been said multiple times, is the deadliest climate threat we face, and our renters are bearing the brunt of it. In Council District 1 and across the city of LA, working families are living in older apartments with no cooling infrastructure. I've walked into apartments in CD1 where the indoor air is sitting at 90 or 95 degrees. You can't sleep in that. You can't study in that. And if you're a senior or medically vulnerable, that level of heat can be life-threatening. Right now, our laws reflect a clear policy gap. We require landlords to provide heat in the winter, but we have no comparable public health standard to protect tenants from dangerous indoor heat in the summer. In a city increasingly defined by triple-digit heat waves, that gap has real and measurable consequences. Inaction is not neutral. It is dangerous. During major heat waves, LA County hospitals see more than 1,500 excess ER visits, and our seniors are 2.5 times more likely to die from heat than the general population. Low-income communities, particularly in the valley and inland areas, are bearing the brunt of this burden. 82 degrees, that is the line between life and death. The item before you is our opportunity for the City Council to make a decisive decision to adopt a maximum indoor temperature standard of 82 degrees for rental housing. It would be consistent with the recent county action and state-level recommendations. There have been questions about grid reliability and system capacity, and that analysis has already been incorporated into existing planning efforts. LADWP has conducted extensive long-term load growth and electrification modeling through the LA 100 study and the LA 100 equity strategy study. The proposed standard allows flexibility, including passive cooling strategies and high-efficiency equipment, which helps limit peak demand impacts. Evaluating this policy's effect on the system aligns with the work that is already underway. It makes this moment powerful. What makes this moment powerful is the coalition standing behind it. We have labor, tenant advocates, environmental groups, public health leaders, and building electrification experts who have all come together to say that protecting renters from extreme indoor heat is urgent and achievable. These groups do not always align on every issue, but on this, they are united. Labor's union-run HVAC rebate programs support high road installation, service, and maintenance jobs. Tenant advocates see the health consequences of inaction. Environmental and electrification leaders understand that protecting tenant health while advancing smart, energy-conscious cooling solutions are not competing priorities. Thank you to Councilmember Blumenfield, Councilmember Nazarian, Supervisor Lindsay Horvath for championing this at the county, SAGE, our sheet metal workers, Local Union 105, and our coalition of partners. We cannot wait for the next record-breaking heat wave to act. Renters deserve the right to safe and healthy homes. And by setting this standard, LA will join the county in treating extreme heat as the emergency that it is. Let's move forward with urgency and equity and with care. And colleagues, I urge your support for this motion. Thank you.
Open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
The council may now move on to item 40, called special by Councilmember Rodriguez for comments.
Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you. Colleagues, transparency is not a criticism, and oversight is not an attack. I introduced this motion because we've seen a lot of footage and a lot of commentary that has come to this council with respect to interactions with LAPD and protesters. And I thought it was important for us to engage in a very constructive conversation with our chief around the rules of engagement. As we have seen, this is not new. This council and this body has engaged in these conversations after May Day, after the protests related to George Floyd. And it's an opportunity, given what we're seeing on the streets and given the increased interactions that law enforcement has had with multiple demonstrations that have occurred, particularly most recently with young people in some of the most recent protest activities that have been occurring. We're in a dynamic moment in this country where we are seeing an overreach with our federal government coming here on the streets of Los Angeles, engaging in clearly unconstitutional activities. But for those of us that are sworn and took an oath of office, our sworn officers have equally taken an oath. And we have all sworn to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Well, it's important for us to engage in conversations with respect to the oversight and actions at every level. Doesn't matter. Whether we have direct oversight or not, we are required to engage in that conversation. And so this motion is about inviting Chief McDonald to come and engage in a conversation with this council on the level of interaction and what is transpired with respect to our response with law enforcement, with our protesters. And this is no different than any other moment in time where we have seen certain engagements, and we deserve and should demand that conversation. Previously, I've introduced a motion asking for an after-action report, given some of the initial responses we've seen with LAPD. And while that motion has not been scheduled, what this motion provides an opportunity for is for us to engage in that conversation here in council directly with the chief. And so I look forward, I ask for your aye vote, and I ask that we continue to engage in a conversation that opens up what the public has a right to know in terms of what is our response and oversight. I recognize that we have a police commission whose primary obligation serves as that oversight body. But this council, with its role as a fiduciary, deserves to have that conversation, particularly as it impacts liability risk in this city. So I ask you for your aye vote.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Rodriguez. Councilmember Lee.
Thank you, Mr. President. Councilmember Rodriguez, I just want to make sure, because this is something that you brought up over and over again about us not scheduling this item. We've been told by the Board of Police Commissioners that once the report is finalized, that it will be sent directly to council. It won't even be heard in our committee. It'll be sent directly to council. So it's not that we're not scheduling this. It has not been transmitted by the Board of Police Commissioners, and I just want to make that very clear.
Thank you, Councilmember Lee. All right, let's see no other speakers. Let's open the roll on this item, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
Mr. McCosker.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have an announcement that relates to the ICE surges that we've seen in Los Angeles, and I have a guardedly optimistic report. Many of you know that on Terminal Island we have a Coast Guard base, and because that is federal property, I presume, back in June we had a surge of 200 to 250 Border Patrol and ICE agents who began mobilizing and patrolling off of Terminal Island. We also had back in June, immediately following the mayor's actions to call attention to this issue, we had a group formed in our community, the Harbor Area Peace Patrol, which is part of the network of safety watchers in our community, who formed, and the Harbor Area Peace Patrol, who are pictured here, some of whom are pictured here because there's many peace patrollers, actually also deployed every day on Terminal Island outside of the base to record license plates and observe and to report out the directions as best they could as to where ICE officers and Border Patrol officers or agents of some kind were going out into the community. They also patrolled our surrounding harbor area communities and did a masterful job in being part of the network of rapid responders. I'm happy to say that last week we began to observe fewer and fewer officers, and we had unconfirmed reports that ICE had actually and Border Patrol had demobilized the surge off of Terminal Island. Yes, that does deserve an applause. And I am grateful to the Peace Patrollers for their work because we do not know why there was a demobilization. I'm not on first term speaking terms with Secretary Noem, so I don't know exactly why it happened, but I'm grateful that it happened. I'm also grateful to Congresswoman Nanette Barragan, who confirmed that there was a demobilization, and I'm grateful to Janice Hahn and our other elected officials who participated in the First Amendment constitutional activities of observing these officers coming and going. And so I'm just here to report a little bit of good news that we do not have 200 or 250 officers deployed at the Coast Guard station. The Coast Guard can go back to its normal duties of protecting our coastline in a constitutional way. But I will also say that this does not mean that we don't have raids happening around Los Angeles and the surrounding areas. It just means that one area of deployment has demobilized. So it's important for folks to continue to look out for one another, make sure that we are exercising our First Amendment constitutional rights, make sure that we are looking out for our friends and neighbors. But I wanted to share that information because it does seem to emanate from folks being engaged and saying, this is our community. We were here before you got here. We'll be here when you're gone. And if you dare to come back, we will be here again. Thank you.